In recent years, Call of Duty has been trying really hard to appeal to new players and beat everything except traditional Call of Duty. In an attempt to make a game for everyone, they've made a game that almost no one is happy with. We now have a 6v6 arcade shooter, battle royale, big team battlefield type mode, an extraction shooter, campaign, spec ops, round-based zombies, outbreak zombies, clearly some modes and elements inspired by Rainbow Six Siege. Oh, and I almost forgot, we even have a third-person game mode. This begs the question, is Call of Duty making a mistake by trying to be everything to everyone instead of focusing on creating a good game that serves one community? I think we can all agree that Call of Duty just doesn't have the soul or spirit it used to. For some of you listening, you're like me, and you grew up playing what are now considered some of the best Call of Duty games ever. But in recent years, it seems like they've just been unable to capture that same magic. I guess you could argue that Warzone had that lightning in a bottle element for a bit there, but the game really wasn't that good, and a decent chunk of the game's popularity came from everyone being stuck at home. Now, to be fair, maybe part of what makes a good game is just having friends to play it with. It seems like Activision's attempt to grow the player base by any means necessary has come at the expense of the core gameplay experience that made Call of Duty into what it is today. It's obvious they're trying to poach players from every AAA fanbase out there, and it doesn't help that basically all of the competitors are dropping the ball. It feels like they're trying to force what is essentially 4 or 5 different games into one experience. Taking this broad approach has given players a lot of ways to play the game for sure, but it comes at the cost of depth. No longer does Call of Duty have cool, interesting Easter eggs or well thought out themes, and their desire to package everything under one experience creates plenty of issues. For example, instead of having exclusive weapons, perks, or content for DMZ, any features or content that are a part of that game mode have to be available across the board in all game modes, forcing content that could be way better if it was specific to DMZ to get watered down. Now, if we look at the current title, Modern Warfare 2, touted as the most quote-unquote comprehensive, polished, and feature-packed Call of Duty, they allegedly had a full 3-year development cycle and 3,000 devs, and yet the game still isn't fun. All of the content in the world can't make up for bad gameplay, and it seems like at this point, or maybe even months ago, it was too late to change the direction of the game. How could you possibly organize and manage 3,000 people and almost limitless game modes into one cohesive and fun gameplay experience? If you look back at some of the best games ever, they were built by only 100 developers or even less. I think there's something to be said for having a small team that can make decisions quickly and change directions on the fly if need be. That's where the expression "too many cooks in the kitchen" comes from. Now, I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, a small dedicated team who is passionate about the project they're building is much better than a massive studio managed from the top down. Just look at XDefiant, for example. Now, I can't confirm this, but I believe the team behind that game is no more than a few hundred people and led by Mark Rubin, who's a former executive producer from Infinity Ward. They've also taken the complete opposite approach from Call of Duty. After being asked numerous times if XDefiant will launch with a battle royale, Mark Rubin stated that they will only be focusing on a 6v6 arcade experience to ensure that the game is as good as it possibly can be. And while sure, it would be cool, it would be great to have another battle royale to play, it's good to know that every dollar they spend, every minute of development time will be going towards making XDefiant the best arcade shooter it can possibly be. Call of Duty is an absolute behemoth of a game, and while it's insanely profitable, it just seems like nobody's really enjoying it that much right now. Sure, the game is playable, but from almost every group of the community, the 6v6 fans, the Warzone fans, the Zombies fans, it seems like the one common thread that unites them all is the feeling that changes in content they want aren't being implemented, and that there's almost no communication from the devs. It seems like almost all of the attention goes to the in-game store at this point. If you want to check out my video about how the in-game store is ruining Call of Duty, click on the video that pops up on the screen or in the link in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, let me know if you think Call of Duty has just spread itself way too thin, and subscribe for more first-person shooter content. My name's Caffrey, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.